Good morning, everyone. I'm William. Because I went to the Singapore for the examination, so I cannot attend today's presentation. Instead of it, I took a video to explain what I have done into this Canvas project. And you can see that on the upper side of the sidebar, we have so many functions in there, and I have done the color change for the drawing and the width increasing and width decreasing, and you can see that if I try to press it, the value inside the box will be changed. That means the size of the width. Also, I have done the undo and the redo function, and the last I also did the zoom in and the zoom out function. So now let me introduce them one by one. Okay, first of all, let me introduce the undo and the redo function first. When we try to click these two buttons, basically it can make the undo and redo function, and the concept behind is very simple. Basically, we just playing the interchanging of the image. If we want to show the previous image, we can press the undo. If we want to show back the current image again, we will press the redo button. First of all, we have to set up the two array for storing all the image together. So we have the undo list and the redo list array, and first of all, both of them have a black array, black data inside. So when our canvas is loaded, we will take the first image to store into the undo list initially, and then we also consider that when the user try to draw something, they must involve the mouse up action. So that it means that for every mouse up action, we will take one image into the undo list, and then at the same time we have to keep the redo list as a blank. That means we have the second image and the third image. Then, if we want to show back the image 2 again, that means we have to kill the image 3. Then, so we will use the dot plot methods to kill the image 3, and the image 3 will be stored into the redo list again. Maybe we will use it later. And for our setting, the canvas will be show the last image of the undo list, and this time the last image is the image 2. That means we show back the previous image. For the redo function, basically it is just reverse function of the undo function. So the image 3 we will push back to the undo list again, and then it will be shown in the canvas, and then the image 3 inside the redo list will be killed. So let me demonstrate our project first. And you can see that I draw the first line, the second line, and the third line, and I press the undo. The third line is gone. Second time, the second line is gone, and I press the redo. The second line appear again. And for this time, I need to draw the rectangle instead of to do the redo function. And then if I press it, nothing happened. That means inside the redo list, there is nothing. There is no image inside anymore. Okay, now let me talk about the zoom in and the zoom out function at this time. You can see that when we try to press the zoom in function, there's nothing happen because we have to press on the canvas to make the image to become larger, and at the same time this is the same result when we try to press the zoom out function, and we also need to press on the canvas and make the image to become smaller. So what's happening about this kind of concept? Basically, you can see that for the zooming function, we just playing the relationship between the scale of the canvas and the image. Actually, we set up the scale as a 1.0. And then we also set the scale multiplier. This is about the 0.9 for this canvas project. And then for every mouse down, if we press the zoom in bottom, the scale will be divided the scale multiplier. That means the 1 over 0.9 for the first time. That means final number is the 1.11111. That means the image, the scale will become larger of the canvas. And then the scale will be applied on the canvas in here, and we also need to use the last image inside the underneath array to do this action. Well, first of all, we will clear all the information on the canvas first. Then we enlarge the canvas in the certain scale, and then we have to make sure that the canvas will be enlarged or become smaller from the center, and then we draw the image again. Because the scale of the canvas changed, it will also change the size of the image. And then for every time when we try to change the scale, it will be counted into the box of value. That means the box in between of the two zooming function. You can see that when we try to zoom in, the value will become larger. When we try to zoom out, the value will become smaller. That means it can remind the user that what kind of degree you have changed of the scale already. Okay, the next thing I have to talk about is the color change, and you can see that when we try to use different drawing material, it can show in different color. Basically, to do this, we just simply to add the input color type for making this color box, and we can change the value inside, and the value will be used to equal to the different drawing material, stroke style, or the fill style, something like that. So that means we can change the color for the drawing. Okay, the last thing I have to talk about is the width size. Basically, when we try to draw a line, you can see that the size of the line will equal to 5 because this is the default value. When we try to make it thicker, we just try to press the arrow up bottom and we draw it again. The size will become larger. And when we try to make it thinner, we just press the arrow down bottom and the size of the line will become thinner. And the value can be changed by the bottom, and also we can directly give the input inside the box, and we can also change the size as well. So what's going on? Basically, we just set up the input type text in the HTML, and then we set up the default value 5 inside for it, and we will change it later. And the ID is the value box, and then we will set up the variable value detect to store the value box value, and then we will use this value for changing, and then finally it will be used for the line width for the drawing material. That means when the value is changed, the line width also is changed. And for every time when we try to press the arrow up bottom, that means the ID width up, the value detect will be added by 1. And in contrast, when we try to press the arrow down bottom, the value detect will be minus by 1. That means we can change the value. And finally, you can see that I can directly give the value into the box. That means we can apply the key up methods to do this. When the user try to press the enter button, so that we have to identify the user is pressing the enter button. This is the key code equal to 13, and we also request them to enter the number, otherwise we will have the error. And finally, if they give the input of the number, it will change the value inside. Okay, this is end of my presentation, and I thank Matthew and Kelvin to hold the presentation today, and I thank all of you to listen my presentation, and we will meet very fast and very soon, and maybe on the next Monday. Okay, see you.